You're a big Musk fan.
Big Musk.
Big fan.
Big Grimes fan.
You were
Canadian
actually
musician
saying
who does that song.
I remember that one time, Cam, where you were trying to argue that Elon Musk is doing too much to save the planet.
That's right.
You said, guys, I think he's actually doing too much right now, and he should maybe take a little bit off of his plate. He's saving the world. He is saving the world too much.
His back's gonna break.
Yeah, and you were really trying to defend this point vehemently, and I could say we were in the room, probably 7 or 8 other people in the room. You were the only person taking a stance on this position.
Yeah, and that's why that's why I was right, because I'm not a sheep.
Right. Because you, Cam, now you're one of these rare types who can only be defined as unplugged. You're unplugged. Everyone else is still plugged in.
I think so. I think that's a term.
Yeah. Well,
that means that I'm not. That means that I'm not in. Oh god, I sneeze.
Oh, it's a big sneeze coming up. I hope it doesn't happen. I hope nothing happens.
Oh, it didn't happen.
I hope nothing happens. I know.
Kill me.
Nothing's more embarrassing than when you're about to sneeze, you let everybody know you're about to sneeze, and then you don't sneeze at all. You're just,
surprise. It's a joke. It's a prank. It's a prank.
It's a prank.
You're on my YouTube channel.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome to my channel.
What's up, YouTube?
Hey, everybody on YouTube. What's up? Today we're going to be pranking my sister.
We're going to be pranking my sister. Quick cuts.
Quick cut.
Anyway, before we get into anything, make sure you smash that subscribe button, hit the bell, make sure we get those latest notifications. And this week's episode is brought to you by Hola VPN. Do you like having your internet browser history open and everyone could see? If not, huge thanks out to the sponsors. Anyway, we're going to do this prank. First, I'm going to make this video about 12 minutes long so I get the extra ad revenue. Pick it!
Continuing
tonight on Two Seas in a Pod, 96.7 on your Two Seas in a Pod, 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 because we're Two Seas in a Pod, just like Two Seas in a Pod, Two Seas in a Pod at gmail.com. Fantastic, wow. Cameron. Wow. New YouTube channel coming out soon. Two Seas in a Pod. That's the podcast you're listening to. Hey, my name is Cameron Osborne. I'm sitting here across the table from my pal. His name's Cam LeClaire.
That's me.
And it's a podcast hosted by the two of us. We're coming up on episode 89 here. 89. Any do you have a favorite hockey player, Cam? Because as you know,
Alexander Mogilny.
Every single week you will
every
tell
single week,
me
haven't missed it ever.
Single week have not missed a single
haven't
one, Cam.
Missed it.
You come out hot with telling me what your favorite athlete is to ever wear a number of the episode. And 89.
Alexander Mogilny.
We only have 11 more of these. Mind you, because I don't think any, no sports go on until a triple dig.
Who's your favorite at 99?
That one's tough. I would have to say Taco Fall, the 7'6" center for the Boston Celtics.
Ooh, that's a good one. Aaron Judge, another famous 99.
Aaron Judge, another great number 99. So, we have things to pick from.
Hockey, I don't think many people wear that number.
No,
so.
No, they don't wear it. Nobody wears number 99 in hockey. It's crazy. I've been watching hockey since approximately 2001. I have never seen a player wearing number 99. It's crazy.
I've seen fans wear it. I don't know why.
I've seen fans wearing it. I've seen the jersey. I've seen the number hung up in the rafters of many arenas.
That's probably why they can't.
Yeah.
It's probably stuck up there. They can't get it.
Yeah. Nobody's allowed to wear 99, and I think also no one's allowed to wear 69 either. I think many leagues veto players wearing 69 because they know why they're wearing it.
So it's the funny number.
Because it's the funny number. Exactly. So I guess yeah.
You think leagues actually ban 69?
I know that Dennis Rodman when he was traded to either the Mavericks or the Spurs, somewhere in the mid-90s, he put in a petition to wear number 69, and they were like, no, pick literally any other number, not 69. And that's the way that ended up going, I think.
Wow, that's the NBA for you, strict bastards.
Well, I think in football it's a little more different because numbers are given out to positions. So, like, if you're an offensive lineman, there's only like 15 numbers that you can wear.
So why is that?
It's so because there's a rule like an ineligible man downfield is a rule, and so you need the numbers to differentiate if a player is in the wrong position at a certain time.
Oh,
yeah.
What's that rule mean? That if you're like a linebacker, you can't like go and try and be a wide receiver at the same time?
Yes, you can't do both at once. If you are, let's say, a linebacker, and for a play they have you lining up, you know, as a wide receiver, that's like a thing where you kind of like wave down the ref like, hey, I'm here on the line, I'm a wide receiver right now, and they'll give you the thumbs up like, okay, I got that. But
if you don't give that sign, then they can be like, that's an ineligible play.
Yeah, they wouldn't. Yeah, everyone would give the sign. But yeah, it's for a case. Yeah, if an offensive lineman makes it too far down the field, yeah, then it would be ineligible receiver, 10-yard penalty or whatever the case might be. So that's why players are differentiated by numbers in the NFL.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Soccer. I was reading this the other day about Aaron Judge. Apparently, someone who wears a very high number is reserved for someone who's probably not going to make the team. So that's why it's very bizarre that he's 99.
Yeah, well, and higher numbers look bad. If your team's like 16 people, you mean you need to have somebody who's an 86? No, just stick in the top 20. Kind of like your house league hockey team. Nobody was numbers higher than 17 because
I think the high numbers look good on the back. Like 68's a good number.
68's a good number? A good jersey number?
I think it looks good on the back.
I don't know.
But it's not about the number on the back. It's about the name on the front.
It's about the sponsor on the front. It's not about the name on the back. It's
about the small Adidas logo by my heart.
It's about the little Nike logo, about the little Sun Life logo. I mean, hell, my favorite Formula One racing team is the Shell team, is the Shell gasoline team.
Is it?
Of course.
I didn't think they had a team.
Of course. I love a good petroleum company.
Who's their driver?
I don't know.
Oh, so you're just like a fake fan.
But I love Shell gas. That's the thing.
Okay.
You know, like
see, I'm a Petro can guy.
I don't care about racing. I love Shell gas.
So, okay, if you roll up to gas stations, there's 5 in a row.
Which I'm doing all the time, by the way.
Yeah, I know. You're 5 in a row, okay? All the exact same price.
Yeah.
And you go with Shell?
If there's 5 in a row?
Yeah, 5 in a row, but they're all the exact same price.
No,
I
know I would go with Esso, but Esso doesn't sponsor an F1 team.
Right,
the way that Shell does.
Which one's Esso look like again?
ESSO.
Yeah. I don't like their machines. I think Petro has the best machines.
No, but Esso, you use they're with President's Choice, so you get the PC Optimum points when you get gas. Gotcha. And the Shell Petro Canada, there's no food, there's no other usage for those points besides a very self-contained point system. But Esso, you can get points on gas and then spend that on chicken
Groceries.
at No Frills.
Petrocan, if you use your RBC card, you get 2 cents off per liter.
Yeah, but now I need to be an RBC guy. See, it's like...
But I am.
Well, you know, I mean, you and how many people? 70?
I don't know.
80,
Maybe
000?
a fifth of the country. We only have 5 banks. Like, probably about a fifth.
You think approximately 1 in 5?
Yeah, 1 in 5 people are probably with RBC.
Yeah.
Probably more, actually. Who, like... If you think about it, I don't know any young person who's a Scotiabank customer. Like, get the fuck out of here, Scotiabank. Are you serious?
Well, yeah, Scotiabank, they hit their prime when it was all about the scene points. That was when everyone was behind Scotia, and then you hear that one guy who's like, I've got like 12 free movies. And it's like, that's probably because you don't go to the movies ever, is it? And they're like, yeah. Like, why'd you get a Scotia card if you're not using your free movies, guys? Come on.
Well... when you're a student, it's free, right? But then when you become an adult, it's like it's like $10 a month. I think I pay $5 a month for my bank account.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I pay. It's just sort of like it comes in and out or whatever, and you're just like, okay, that's the cost.
That's
the
money.
Cost, I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
That's the cost of not keeping tons of money around in cash in my house.
Now, Cam, because before you were doing just stacks and stacks of cash underneath the mattress.
Yeah.
And
Then-
that
and
that
then
worked for a long time.
Then the rodents came.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now you
Big
don't do
problem. Big problem. I heard somewhere that Pablo Escobar's cash, something like millions, were just eaten by rats.
Oh yeah,
Which is
In
pretty.
an-
Yeah,
in an
because when you have
infestation
that
one
much
day?
buried, well, you just have that much buried around that eventually rats are going to get to it and they just build nests.
Well, that's the thing. You got to go to the Walter White method. Put it in those big plastic barrels, those big rain barrels.
Yeah.
Rats can't get through that.
Yeah, they can.
Really?
Oh, for sure. Rats can get through anything.
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 Well, especially when there's enough of them. What's it called when there's all those rats and they're all like gangbanging? What's that called?
I don't know. Kitchener?
Yeah.
Boom!
That's called Ottawa and Highway 85. The only place I've ever found, the only place in Kitchener I actually found needles on the ground. Cam,
Really?
that's some great news.
I feel like that's got to be somewhat common in Toronto, seeing needles.
Not that I can say. Oh, we found a big bag of drugs the other day at work, and that was super cool. But
What kind of drugs?
there was definitely some cocaine in there.
Nice.
There was definitely some pills in there. The little straw to
Was it separated?
Yeah, there was like the cocaine was in one little pouch, and then the pills were in another pouch, and the straw and the razor blade. It was very like nostalgic almost. Like rather, I don't do chemical, pills and all that kind of crap. But it's nice to know that like the method for it to reach your dome hasn't changed. It's still that one razor blade to chop it up, and that one little straw. Like Coke Tech hasn't moved on.
Right. Yeah. No one's come up with. I once saw a guy with like a bullet thing. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
No, I don't think so.
So this was, those things that are for sinuses that look like a chapstick bottle, and then you twist it and then you sniff it.
Yeah, it goes up your nose.
Yeah.
I can picture that.
That he had one of those for Coke.
Oh, that's cool.
So he would just like twist it and little pick me up.
And it uses like a little pressurized, forces it up there.
I think you just twist it like it cracks a little bit, kind of like a pepper shaker, and gives it a little bit, and then you just
Wow.
little sniff.
Just a
Yeah,
little-
so I guess it has improved a little bit.
Yeah, Coke Tech.
Yeah, Coke Tech, but I mean like old reliable,
Old reliable, just grow your pinky fingernail real long. And start
Coke
doing
nails.
bumps like there, Cam. Let's get into the show then, shall we? On that note, let's get into the show this week by reviewing a little bit of last week because we got some notes.
Notes. We got some notes. We got some notes. Notes. We got some notes.
We were talking about Eric Lindros. Of course, last week was episode 88, if you can recall.
Yes.
Eric Lindros, the Big E. That's what his nickname was. I was saying the Big O for some reason. I don't know why that was. He was also called the Next One. I missed that because he was supposed to be as good as Wayne Gretzky. Remember that?
Never heard of the guy.
Never heard of the Never heard of the guy. What else were we talking about? We're talking about getting your ID stolen. How often does it actually happen? Cam, you said a lot.
I don't know. It was a little bit of a guess.
Well, you were the one who said it. In 2019, about 14.5 million people in the United States were victims of ID fraud, which is about 1 in 15 people. But
That's
in the
a lot.
Yeah, in the United States, actually, identity theft is more than twice more likely than the global average.
It's probably because they have that stupid system where, like, especially on credit cards, I don't know if you've been to the States anytime. Oh, right. You don't leave the country.
I went to the States when I was 21. I went to a cottage a couple weeks ago, but that was just in Canada. But what are you talking about?
So when they do their Visa receipts or credit card receipts, it's not a chip technology. It's always here's the receipt, and then you put the number you want on the bottom, and they've already scanned your card, then you leave. It's so weird.
Okay. They do it a bit differently there.
Yeah, which I don't understand how that doesn't get corrupted way more often.
Well, apparently, 1 in 15 people. That seems pretty damn often. If it's more than twice more likely than the global average.
But I just feel like that would, man, how easy would it be to just, I thought that 1 was a 7, and then charge the card.
Yeah. It's that easy.
Right?
It's that easy, apparently, and that's why they're all getting frauded, because they're all dumbasses.
Yeah.
And it's more common to adults over 55. Next question. Last week's episode of MacGyver showed MacGyver helping, what was the guy's name? Trumbo and his plantation deal with an overcoming of soldier ants. The question was, do soldier ants actually eat people? Can they actually eat people? Because in the episode, we saw 3 people die due to an enormous amount of these soldier ants, which are actually army ants. That's actually what they're called. They're an extremely powerful creature who can devour anything in their path. There is some very fun time-lapsed videos you can find online of ants devouring like a dead cow to like absolutely to the bone in a week or something.
Wow.
It is pretty
What
cool to
about a live
watch.
cow?
It is pretty cool to watch. But when it comes to actually human beings, there have been a few cases of soldier ants eating people to death. But in every single one of these cases, there's like 4 of them. The victims were either infants or drunk. So it's like it couldn't happen to you if you were, like the photography guy who was standing at the top of the hill and he kind of fell and soldier ants. That's not gonna happen anytime soon.
You're saying it could, though.
It could if you in all the cases that I could find, they were either infants like 3 weeks old or drunk and then passed out. We had a story earlier, I think, on a headliner Asinine a few weeks ago where it was a drunk guy got eaten by a snake in India.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing. You're so wasted and blacked out.
No, he bit the snake back.
Nah, I think this was another. This must be another story that I'm thinking of. Yeah, but either way, you would have to be so incredibly knocked out of it that you would have to sleep through ants eating you. Gotcha. So it's not going to happen anytime soon. If you are into these soldier ants, you're not going to die.
Okay, good to know.
Final note from last week, Cam. You brought it up. Shout out to SEAL Team 6, the military alphabet, Cam. Start at A and go for me.
Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, Foxtrot, ABC, EF, Golf, I don't know, H.
Hotel.
I'm so bad with the alphabet. ABC, H. I is Indigo.
India.
No. India. Are we doing this whole thing?
You brought it up, Cam. These are your corrections. Juliet, Kilo, Lima, Mike, November, Oscar, Papa, Quebec, Romeo, Sierra, Tango, Uniform, Victor, Whiskey, X-Ray, Yankee, Zulu.
How many do you think you'd be able to get?
I actually know a fair amount of them. I actually knew a fair amount of these already.
I knew them all, but I wouldn't be able to pull them. I was pretty impressed that I was able to get to.
You got up to H, without any.
That's pretty good for even getting up that high in the alphabet for me.
I know, yeah, A to H. That's pretty tough. That's one more than the musical scale.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, good to know. Well, I guess I'm a musician too.
I guess you're a musician too. That's all the notes we have for the week, though, Cam.
Okay, great. Well, off to a rickety rockety start. Let's hope we get none next week because everything's gonna be perfect this week.
You think so?
No,
I think we've already probably had 3 mistakes.
At least. All right. Well, speaking of mistakes, I got a new game for you that it's filled with mistakes.
I can't wait.
All right, Cameras. This one's called Lost in Translation. Now, I'm sure we've all seen movies sometimes when they get brought over from different countries. You'll get the subtitles that just don't really make much sense because they get a little lost in translation. So, Cam, what I've done this week is I've pulled 3 extremely famous movie quotes for you. Now, I would say, Cam, what movie quotes are these from? And you'd go, no problem, easy. Well, how about if I translate it from English to Zulu, back to English to Zulu, to Hindi to Romanian to Afrikaan, and back to English? Will you be able to figure out what that line is?
Was this a specific set of Google Translates?
And each one has a different, each one has a different, gone through a different washing machine.
I like that. I like that term, but I'm scared for the answer.
All right, Cameras. Well, we got 3, and I'll give you the line, and then we'll go down the list with hints if we can't get it, all right?
Okay.
First quote, I promise he won't be able to stay.
I promise he won't be able to stay. Yeah, see, this is the worst, right? Because language is fucked, or it's not language is fucked, it's English that's fucked around all the other languages that make sense.
I mean, yeah, you can look at it that way. The
right?
big thing
It's
is
like
if you
getting
switch it from...
it's like getting into bed. You don't climb inside of the mattress.
Right.
You get on top of a sheet and below another sheet. So really you're getting in the sheets. You don't go to bed. You go to your bedroom. See, it's English that is the problem.
And especially if you bring it outside of Latin languages, that's where it gets ugly. So we went for this one, Zulu, Hindi, Romanian, Afrikaan, and back to English. So clue number 1, Cam.
Okay, wait, say it again. Say it again. Sorry, say it again.
I promise he won't be able to stay.
I promise he won't be able to stay. So maybe like an I swear. Oh, yeah. I might need a hint.
So 1972 is your first hint. That's when the movie was.
1972.
Like
is it I'll make him an offer he can't refuse?
You got it!
I got it. We're talking Godfather, right?
That's the Godfather.
Okay, so I promise... Say it again.
I promise he won't be able to stay.
I promise he won't be able to stay. I'll make him an offer he can't refuse. Yeah, well, that's a weird one. That is
It's
weird
weird,
one.
yeah. It's a weird one. All right, Cam, let's go on to our second one. This one has gone from English to Italian to Pashto, Portuguese, Vietnamese, and back to English. In the evening...
I've never heard of 3... I haven't heard of 3 of those languages. I didn't even know they existed. I didn't even know Google Translate had an option for that.
Yeah, neither did I. All right, next line. In the evening, little friends...
In the evening, my little friends. Okay, maybe it's something like good night. Good night.
1983 film.
Okay, 1983. Good night.
Next hit.
Say it again.
In the evening, little friends.
In the evening, little friends. Good night. Okay, I need a second clue.
Second clue, machine gun.
I guess say hello to my little friends?
You got it.
Or my little friend. Say hello to my little friend.
Yeah, say hello to my little friend.
God, I wonder how that turned to in the evening.
Yeah, well, I watched it slowly degrade.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay,
In the evening, little friends. And third one. This one went from Mongolian to Zoha to Maori back to English.
So are you just picking languages at random within Google
Correct.
Translate? Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, Cam. Your quote is, honestly, sorry, I don't care.
Is that frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn?
Yes! 3 for 3.
3 for 3.
And that concludes the game of Lost in Translation.
That was a lot of fun. We'll have to play more of these. We'll have to play more of these in the future. You know, treading the water of... See, Cam, I would be more scared to play this game or for you to play this game. Because it could be like to me, I'm like, everybody knows this famous movie line.
Yeah, and we're going to need a bigger boat. Like,
yeah,
never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Yeah. Marlon Brando, who's that? Does he play for the Yankees?
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, it would be a little bit dangerous for me to play it, rather for you to play it.
Yeah. I just went on like top 100 movie quotes of all time. It's a good starting point.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, these should be home runs. But I mean, a bunch of them I had never heard of too.
I've never seen Gone with the Wind. I just know that quote, or I just know it to be the last line from the film. because everyone freaked
Oh,
out.
is that the last line?
That's the very last line, and I think people freaked out because they said "damn." That was the big reveal. That they said the word, because it's 1951 or whatever, and they said "damn" on the big screen.
Okay.
I think that was the big
here's
takeaway.
So I have the top 5 movie quotes of all time. That's number 1, actually. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Can Clark Gable, Gone with the Wind.
Can I guess the rest of the 5 in no particular order?
Yeah, sure.
Because it's an arbitrary thing if it comes down to top 5. I'm gonna have to say, fucking, You Can't Handle the Truth. It's got to be up there.
No.
What?
It's not. No. It's
well,
not
then
in
I'm
the top
done.
5.
I'm done. Because my next one was probably gonna be We're Gonna Need a Bigger Boat.
No. Not in there.
God damn it! What movie are these people watching? I don't know, Cam. I guess I got nothing.
They're all before 1972.
Yeah, it's all in that like golden age of Hollywood type of crap. Yeah,
So,
as if
number
another
2,
good movie hasn't come out since then.
Yeah, obviously it's not.
Obviously not.
Next one is I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse, or as some would say,
Yeah. In the evening.
in the evening, good night. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever that was.
Third one, you don't understand. I could have had class. I could have been a contender. I could have bid somebody instead of a bub, which is what I am. Terry Malloy or Marlon Brando in On the Waterfront. I have never heard that quote in my life.
I've heard the quote, never seen the movie.
Okay. Next one, this one's pretty famous. Toto. I've got a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
Classic. Yeah, okay, yeah.
And number 5, he is looking at you, kid.
That's another
Rick
good one.
Blaine, Humphrey Bogart, Casablanca.
Yeah, that's another good one. But anytime you find a list like that, and even you go to something like IMDb, there'll still be 6 movies in the top 10 that all came out before 1961, and you're like, guys, come on, there's got to be, we got to change the definition of what this good might be. I mean, it's being all cyclical. I mean, if you were to ask somebody under the age of 40 right now, what is a more memorable quote? Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn, or I love lamp. They will probably pick I love lamp.
Yeah, it's a way better quote.
Right? Isn't it it's just one of those. And then in 40 years, it'll be, I don't know, fucking something Timothée Chalamet said in some shitty movie. It's, those sorts of lists are seemingly arbitrary.
Yeah, and there's so many from those movies that are just like, oh, you definitely should watch this, but I'm never going to.
Absolutely
Casablanca,
not.
Gone with the Wind.
Nope.
Midnight Cowboy.
Nope.
Sunset Boulevard.
Nope.
Wizard of Oz. Not gonna ever watch it.
I've seen
Silence
it.
of the
Don't
Lambs.
need to watch it again. Silence of the Lambs. That's a good one.
Okay, number 1 should be What's in the Box.
Well, number 1 should obviously be What's in the Box. It's one of the easiest quotes. It involves Brad Pitt, and it's the confusion of what is in the box. What is in the box?
This one's good. Tax. I'll see if you can guess it. Travis Bickle, taxi driver.
I'm just like, you're looking at me?
You talking to me?
There's nobody else here. You must be looking at me.
You talking to me? Fasten your seatbelt is going to be a bumpy ride. Oh, man, there's so many I just have not heard of. E.T. Phone Home, classic. Lots of good stuff here. Anyway, I'm going to get too distracted if I keep looking at this, Cam, so I'm going to close the tab.
Close it, baby.
Wow.
You get too distracted. Too much.
Yeah. For the sake of time, because I know that today we got shit to do. Let's jump into a time in the past again. Speaking of movie and television, let's go back to a man who is a one-hit wonder in television, but what a hit he was. That's right, everyone. It's time for a MacGyver in 5.
MacGyver in 5. It's time for MacGyver in 5. MacGyver in 5. It's time for MacGyver in 5. Because we only have 5 minutes to recap this week's episode of MacGyver. Yeah, that's right, Cam. You summed it up pretty well there.
Thanks.
Cutting in your own theme music, too.
Thanks, Dad.
That's right. because as the weeks of this podcast go on, so do the weeks of the action.
Just like the years of our lives?
Just like the years in our lives, which might be our next show. Just like the weeks of this podcast go on, so do the weeks in the life of Special Agent MacGyver. The United States... What is he? I have no idea. They have not said what he does specifically within the government.
They haven't made it extremely clear his job, but
and the first episode he had like somebody he called to almost like Michael Knight did with Devin. But now that does not exist, and now he just
there
kind
seems
of
to be a hierarchy.
There's no hierarchy in whatever happens, but every single week we recap.
People seem to know him though. They're like, we can't let MacGyver over here.
He seems to have a friend all over the world. And although we don't know who he's working for every single week, he finds himself in a new exotic location, solving some of the world's problems. Some of the world's biggest problems, and this week was no different because we have episode 7 here for you. But the key is we only have 5 minutes to do it. Cam, I'm kicking off this week's episode, and you're going to take it from there. That sounds about right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
Let's bring you
Timers.
episode 7, The Last Stand. 5, 4, 3, 2, and we open in the mountain desert of Sparrow Lake, where Mac arrives for a little rest and relaxation. He finds himself at a local diner beside a small airport. When he arrives, a man greets him, and the man's secretly holding an assault rifle behind his back. And inside the diner feels to be a tense situation. The armed man walks into the diner behind Mac, and we see another man, a well-dressed man, in there with him too. Mac asks for a cup of coffee, and the waitress hands him a cup full of coffee with the words "help" written on the inside of it. The man in the suit is named Terry, and his gunman took the diner hostage a couple hours ago, waiting for an escape flight out. An 18-wheeler arrives with an armored van inside, with a man locked inside of the van. The bad guys plan to just blow off the door, killing the man, but since the door is locked, they plan... Mac plans to maybe I can create a blowtorch using a bicycle and some rust, apparently, to blow off those doors safely. He blows off the doors safely, but the bad guys end up shooting the man in the van anyways. So Mac and another prisoner, very grimly, have to dig this man's grave. Back in the diner, the guys are continuing to count their cash when they get a call from their escape plane saying that he is having some electrical failure, and Mac might just be the guy to fix it when he arrives. They go off looking for parts. Mac knocks out one of the henchmen so he can really kind of begin his plan to save us all. And of course, it wouldn't be a MacGyver plan if it didn't involve making a bomb of some kind. So he makes a bunch of bombs using all of the advice that I'm sure he got from the Anarchist Cookbook. And Cam, we kick it off to you.
Yes, so MacGyver uses some newspaper, lighter fluids, and some rocks of some sort, or some kind of chemical compound, to wrap up these bombs that look like spring rolls. From there, he creates 5 bombs, throwing the first to create a diversion of some sort, while him and his ragtag team use an old fire truck to escape the scene, using it to spray the bad guys who are chasing them on dirt bikes. They end up crashing the fire truck, where Mac and Kelly are kidnapped by the banditos, who bring them back to the lounge before the plane arrives. They toss Mac and Kelly in the deep freezer to die, which only gets Mac's brain cooking. After some romantic banter / filler, Mac removes the doorknob of the freezer, stuffs it with newspaper, and creates a funnel from the light to the doorknob to melt a block of ice, freezing the lock, expanding the area within the lock, and breaking them free. While the bad guys are fixing their plane at gunpoint with their engineer, Mac finds an RC plane with a bomb strap, which he made earlier, attached to the plane, and flies the RC car into the plane, creating, again, just a small distraction, not really any damage at all, just a little bang. The bad guys all realize that he is out of the freezer and split up looking for him, giving Mac the perfect opportunity to systematically disarm and knock them out. Never to kill them or to use a gun, because that's not good on television these days. As the bad guys try and leave on their plane, Mac jumps on the back of an aircraft while his helicopter pilot friend gives chase to one of the other hoodlums, knocking him down in a rather impressive stunt. There's some pandemonium going on behind the plane while he is getting shot at while hanging on the tail of it, and he eventually rips the pilot out of the plane, disarms him, and the world is safe again. We have so much time left.
I find a lot. This is the earliest one that's ever happened. I find a few of these episodes now, a lot of the action is the montage of him making the fun stuff.
Yeah.
It's like every week there's like 10 minutes of just fun montage of him making stuff, which must mean why we have a minute plus to go. The clock is still going. We're still allowed.
I feel like I didn't really miss any details there either. I'm looking
this is pretty much everything that happened, but it's there's these montages that last for 15 minutes a week, especially with no opening gambit.
Yeah, the opening gambit's important.
The opening gambit really kind of sells sells it for us. God, we still have 30 seconds. We need to keep going. We are contractually obligated.
Yeah, so what's up with these little bombs that he uses that don't do anything? They just make like a little pop, and it's like, oh boy.
But I think
like
it's
no damage.
But I think it's making the bomb is the fun part. Because kids at home
bombs are just so useless.
Kids at home don't know how to make bombs, right? So it's fun to watch somebody making a bomb using household.
And he always makes bombs too.
Yeah, I think we're 7 weeks straight of him making a bomb of some kind.
Yeah, well, I hope it continues. How much time you got there?
Yeah, we got 4 seconds left. Can't wait. Tune in, folks.
Right.
Episode 8 next week. Here we go.
All right.
Like time to kill on that one. Yeah. See, yeah, Knight Rider didn't have as many montages. I think that's what it was.
Well, no, they did driving montages.
But even though their driving montage would have like action within it that could be described, maybe Cam, maybe this one's on us. We need to all of Mac's little intricate things, all of his inventions. We need to very much so like detail every single bit that's happening.
Okay, yeah,
right. Because I just said he made a blowtorch using a bicycle and some rust. But maybe I need to explain what he explains to us, right? Because he was shaving off the rust and the chemical within the rust, and then the boom, and then that oxygen. Pff. Maybe that's on us to maybe be a little more thorough.
All right, maybe, or we'll see. We'll see how next week goes.
Well,
Tune in next week.
Tune in next week, folks. Because if we're cutting this off at 3:37 every single week, then it's got to be on us, and we got to change what we're doing.
Okay. Well, that was that's something. Great. Well, what else we got? I mean, I feel like we're plowing through this pretty quickly. Should we jump into our last game of the evening?
Why are we jumping in our last game?
I know you have to be out by 2, so I just want to make sure that we're...
No, we got time.
Okay. I thought we're sharp. Okay.
No. Cool. Cam, you're just rushing along the show. Normally, you're telling me about...
I'm telling you about all kinds of
You're telling me about literally everything that's happened in your life.
Oh, I got a story for you.
There we go. See? That's on the shirt. The first Two Seasons Pod shirt is your face saying, oh, I got a story for you.
I got a story for you.
And then that's it. Yeah. Fans listen for the stories and the games.
So yesterday, me, Dan, Jeremy, and Mike go golfing. And 7th hole, we line up, and there's been these 2 people in front of us, like dad and son, who are in a cart, just 2 of them, and we keep catching up to them. Like, they're so bad at golf. Which is frustrating to sit behind and watch someone tee off and do, like, 5 yards. You're like, great. You have a cart. Like, you should be flying ahead of us. Anyway, we line up in the 9th hole, and now they've joined the group in front of them because I guess they know them. And now it's like 7 people, or like probably 6 or 7 people in this group. So they tee off, they're at the green, right? I think the green is 270, or no, about 300 yards away, right? I hit my first drive. They're on the green. There's par 4, never going to hit them. Just smash it. And I go like kind of into the trees. I'm like, fuck, all right, that's probably gone, so I'll hit a provisional. Hit it as hard as I can. I'm like, holy fuck. I call out 4 because I'm getting somewhat close to the green. We're like, all right, whatever. The other 2 guys just smash their balls too. And then we roll up and we're like, all right, where's our balls? They're 10 feet from the green. Like, we all hit the best drives of our life. And the one guy looks at us, he goes, are you guys fucking stupid? And we're like, yeah, we're sorry about that. He goes, you almost hit us 4 times. 4 times. And we're like, yeah, I didn't hit that far. He goes, you fucking did. You fucking did. And we're like, yeah, we're kind of in the wrong here, but you guys are also really bad at golf, and you should be impressed because those were the best drives I've ever seen in my life.
Right, it's their fault.
A little, not really, but
It's their fault that they almost
like
got
to
hit
pin-
by your drives when they were on the green.
four drives.
Yeah, 4. See, if it was 1, it's like, oh shit, that guy overshot. But then after you almost hit the green, shouldn't that have been a warning for the other guys? Like, oh wait, maybe we should all wait for them to get off the green.
But the thing is, we couldn't see them on the green.
Okay,
Like we didn't see where the balls landed, so
yeah,
it's
it
just
wasn't
like
visible.
you smash it. You're like, okay, it might be somewhat close up there, but then we got there. We're like, wow, like what are the chances that 3 guys who normally like 2 of them slice into the woods all hit best drives of their life, like 3 in a row, best drives of their lives.
I mean, that's the scariest part, right? You know?
Yeah.
You see somebody 250 yards away, you're like, I've never hit 250 in my life. I
Yeah.
probably never will hit 250. I'm just going to drive it. And the next thing
We
you know,
calculated it. We had
next thing you
270
know,
yard drives.
you drive 275 and you clonk somebody on the fucking head. You
Yeah.
know?
But then you realize you're like, why are you guys in a group of 7 all on the green?
Yeah, I guess that's
Not
the,
really their fault, but I like to give them a little bit of like, you guys should hurry up your game too.
It's a mix of the two. No, you know, you
Yeah.
are probably more to blame
More
than
in the
these
wrong,
other
but
people are.
little slightly in the wrong, yeah. But they were not happy with us.
Did,
Anyway,
did they let you play through after?
That was the 9th hole, so
Oh, so you guys were done.
yeah, we were laughing about it the whole time home. We're like, we should have told me to get them drinks in the clubhouse, then just left.
They're waiting at a table for like 25 minutes, waiting for you to show up. You just never show
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, it was something fun. Then we went to Oktoberfest after that. It was
How
a
was
great
that?
time. It was good. It was a little bit weird because it was COVID, so you had to sit at your desk. There was no dancing.
Oh yeah, little indoor COVID party.
Yeah, a little indoor COVID party.
That's fun.
So you had to sit at your thing. You went and got your food. The food was delicious. Beer was good, but it would just be nice. The band was the best part because it's like a traditional German band too. Just the songs that you're gonna pick up on really quickly. It's just like, you know, he'll go, okay, everyone. You start like, oh, and then he's like, everyone do that with me now, and then everyone does it, and you're like, we're having fun.
Right, having fun,
Yeah.
having fun in there. Well, that's great. I always thought Oktoberfest was later, and I didn't think it was so early October.
It goes throughout the month.
Oh yeah, it's just a big thing. Oh, that's of course, I guess. Yeah.
Every Friday and Saturday for a bit.
Well, that's not bad.
You're not gonna get like that many people out to get hammered on a Tuesday.
Right. Or at least,
I mean, you could, but
You would only get like students, if anything.
yeah, a little bit expensive, cash only too, which was kind of weird, especially in like, I don't know, today's society, that they just did not accept cards. But cash is sometimes fun too. I think we spent
Yeah, that
like
is bizarre.
$180.
Ooh, baby, that's a fucking night out.
I mean, not each, like total.
Oh, okay. Jesus Christ, I thought you spent $180 like each. I was like, wow.
No.
I'm trying to think the last time, like, what was the most amount of money I last spent out at a bar?
Dude, I used to remember guys from university who would be like, I spent like $300 at the bar last night. I'm like, how? Like, what mistakes compiled you to get to a $300 bill?
Well, first of all, I bet right there's the immediate amount of young white person hyperbole. They didn't spend $300 at the bar. They spent like $300, which is probably more like $180. And it's the shots. Shots are always what cost money like the most, right? Because you never just buy
it?
a shot for yourself the way you just buy a drink for yourself.
That's a good
You
point.
look around at the 6, 7, 8, 9 people. You're like, shots for everyone, and then that's 9 times. You know, that's 40. That's $50 in shots right there, and then, you know,
That's a good point,
On
yeah.
top of the rest of the tab in which
I've
you've occurred.
never been shots guy though. I've never been the guy to be like, we're getting shots for everyone, and that's mostly because I just don't like doing shots. Now, if I'm at the bar and someone's like, we're doing shots, I'll do it, but I don't want to be the initiator. Partially because I don't want to spend $50 for that one little moment in time, because I don't think it's really worth it.
Yeah, I like it when shots are bought for me.
I'm on the same page.
I love that feeling. When it comes to buying shots, yeah, like at work, when we would leave work and you go to the bar afterwards, some of the managers would oftentimes buy, shot of whiskey, shot of tequila for everybody there. There's like
Yeah.
20, 25 people there. They would do it. They're the managers. Hey, thanks everybody. You're all doing great. But
right. Except you, Jim. You fucking
except
suck
you,
tonight.
you suck. But there's also this thing where it's like not everybody likes shots, like you just said, right? So you don't want to, if I'm buying shots for a round of people, I need to make sure that like all of these shots are going to be accounted for, right? I didn't just do a count of all the heads and be like, oh, I'll take 15 shots, and then 7 people like, oh, I don't want one. Well, then why the fuck are you here?
Yeah, we know what we're doing here.
We know what we're doing.
It's kind of like if you walked into like a sex house and you're like, oh, I'm okay. And you're like, then get out.
Yeah,
like,
which Cam, you keep making the mistake. You're accidentally walking into these sex houses, just thinking it's
okay? What's a bathhouse? Is that the same thing?
I think a bathhouse is where you bathe yourself.
I don't know, because I was looking this up the other day. I was reading the restrictions in Ontario, and there was something about like you need to like show your proof of vaccination at strip clubs, at bathhouses, and something else. I'm like, what is this bathhouse thing?
I feel like a bathhouse is just like, yeah, it's where, people go to have most likely anonymous gay sex. But, it's sort of, you can't call it like an anonymous gay sex house.
Yeah.
So you just kind of call it a bathhouse.
Interesting.
But yeah, same thing. No one's going there to bathe.
Gotcha.
Like,
okay.
I feel like if you're going to a bathhouse, like if you need to bathe, you probably go to the local YMCA. I feel like that's a much, they probably have showers and stalls and soap. Where a bathhouse, like there's kind of cum on the walls everywhere. There's a guy who probably squeegees the cum off the walls and the floors because people are just blowing their loads all over the place there.
Interesting.
Oh, this is all hearsay. Also, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I've never been. I went to a bathhouse in Turkey. Greece, when I was in Greece, but it was an actual bathhouse with no one was getting JO'd or anything. It was nude, but no one was getting jerked off.
Okay, so wouldn't that just be the same? Isn't it kind of just like a spa then?
It's like a spa. Yeah. It's more like a spa, but with a bath. When it's steamy.
Oh, okay. I'm just looking at this now. A top 10 bathhouses in Kitchener. So it's like it's just spas. Millcroft Inn and Spa.
Yeah, things like that. Yeah, but maybe bathhouse is like the overarching term or something.
What? They have a detoxifying beer bubble bath, a private wooden room with a deep. Yeah, okay, you're right. It's for fucking.
It's mostly just for anonymous sex with many partners unprotected. That's my guess.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how that like seedy underworld works with the legalities, because I know there's definitely places where you can get like happy ending massages. Like that exists in Canada for sure. Mm-hmm. I've heard of people going to those in Toronto, but I don't know how that works.
Your friends bragging to you about
a friend of a friend kind of thing, who's like, okay. Oh yeah, this guy went to a, so he probably told a little bit of confidence, and then he's like, this fucking sicko.
This weirdo. See, what's weird about because I picture like it's a massage, so you're lying down, and I feel like it would just be like lying down on the massage table would be a very uncomfortable way to just get a hand job. Does that make sense? Like a massage table, it's not like you're in a large sprawling bed. Or, with lots of... You're on probably a very, hard massage table.
Massage tables aren't really that hard.
No?
They're pretty soft. No. They often have, like, quite a bit of cushioning on them. And holes, too, where you put your face and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I don't know. When's the last time you got a massage?
Well, if you're lying on your back, you can't... The face hole means nothing if you're getting JO'd.
Oh, no. It holds your head better because you can lift it up and it snaps it forward. It's not just like a table.
No, but I'm saying there's probably no difference between the massage table and then the happy ending massage table. Those are the exact same tables.
Yeah, I'm just saying a massage table's not that uncomfortable.
So you're lying on your back, looking straight up into the air, feet up, like toes pointing up. You can't sprawl. You can't, you need to stretch your legs when you're getting a handy. No, you just keep your legs nice and straight. and someone will just be standing beside you. See, the whole thing just feels.
Yeah, it just seems a little. Weird.
It just feels a little bizarre.
Yeah, I'd hate to be like someone who works at a spa and then just get asked that constantly, like, "Do you guys have happy endings here?" And you're like, "Do I need to put up a sign or something?"
I'm sure there
endings?
there are many signs at some actual massage parlors where like this is not a happy ending place.
But the thing is, like, none of them should be, because I don't think happy endings are legal at massage places.
That's a good question. I have no idea regarding I have no idea about the legality behind it all. But if you're filming,
I would imagine, because if prostitution is illegal, right, then that would just be a form of prostitution.
But if you're filming it, maybe then it can be considered pornography, and that's allowed.
I guess.
You're paying a pornographic actress for a film that you will distribute?
Maybe if there's consent on all parties, that it's going to get distributed.
Like if
I don't know.
Like if a cop bursts down a hotel room door where a prostitute and someone is having sex, that's illegal. But if they're filming it for porn, does that make it legal?
These are the questions of the 21st century.
Honestly, these are some of the questions that we've been asking this whole time.
Yeah, I don't know. I might be in the notes and amendments section next week.
Yeah, we'll have to.
Not a mistake. Just a clarification.
See, Cam, that's what it's all about. Let's get into our final game of the week then, shall we? How's that sound?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
Of course you're ready. Cam, we're talking about a little edition of Headline or Asinine.
Hey, headline or asinine. Headline or asinine.
The game's pretty simple. Letterman did it for about 30 years with his headlines. Oh no, it was Leno. I think it was Leno. One of them did it. We rip a lot of our games off of games that Leno and Letterman did. Nope. Mostly our show is kind of a condensed segments version of their show, and this one's no different.
I thought my Translate game was pretty fun.
That was fun, but I'm sure like Craig Davidson was doing it or something, right?
I don't know who that is.
One of the lesser known, or Kimmel's doing it or something. But either way, we have headlines. Sometimes they're real, sometimes they're not, and more often than not, they're crazy stories. Cam, how about you kick this one off?
All right. Nicolas Cage mistaken for homeless man, thrown out of Vegas bar.
Ooh, Nicolas Cage once again had to leave Las Vegas, but this time for real. I did see a movie poster of his recently where he looked particularly disheveled. And I feel like the fact that it was Nicolas Cage really bumps up the headline-ness of it all. Because really, like, a bar shouldn't be kicking you out just because you're homeless, right? It doesn't matter how you appear, if you walk in and slap cold hard cash on the bar, they're gonna treat you, right? But if Nicolas Cage came into a bar, did nothing, paid nothing, and just wanted water, yeah, that might be an excuse to be like, hey man, you can't stay here, not because of what you look like, but because of you're not treating this bar as a bar. You can't just walk into some place, you can't walk into a restaurant and not get food. Like, if you want to not get food, go to the library, because you can also just sit there for an extended period of time. So I'm going to say this is a headline, but it's a little misleading.
Not really that misleading. A little bit. He was mistaken for a homeless man by many of the patrons there because he didn't have shoes on, and he was dressed very bizarrely, and it was stinking drunk. Now, the people who actually owned the bar were very aware that he was not homeless because he was buying very top-shelf whiskey and tequila.
Nice.
Now, he was getting in trouble basically by yelling at the staff, trying to pick up fights. And there's video online showing where he was unable to get his flip-flops back on his feet before staggering and shouting at the different waitresses and patrons of the restaurant. He was predominantly kicked out afterwards, but the main part is he just looked so disheveled, people thought he was actually homeless.
Yeah, and I guess this is another one of these things where, like, he broke one of the two rules that most food and drink establishments have.
Wear your shoes?
No shirt, no shoes. Like, if you break one of those two rules, they probably have good reason to, like, ask you to leave, and then especially harassing patrons and employees. Yeah, Nicolas Cage, yeah, fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
I
thought you
know.
liked Nicolas Cage.
Well, I mean, Con Air, Face Off, yeah. Gone in 60 Seconds. The Rock, that's a good one. Leaving Las Vegas, Moonstruck, but no, nothing else. He's got 10.
Right.
He's got 10 good movies, I'll say.
All right.
What was that one that he was in? That was like what National Treasure. That was a classic.
Yeah, it's something. That's a movie.
Okay, Cam, I got one here for you. Headliner Asinine, cops seize enough opioids to kill 50 million people.
How many is that? That seems like a lot of opioids. 50 million, man. Are they babies?
Kill 50 million babies. Oh no, my baby's on opioids. Oh no, my baby. No, my baby.
Yeah, I guess it's a pretty big drug bust. That just the number is the real thing we got to think about. 50 million people. Now the thing about drug busts is they always go by they're like, this has $2 billion in street value. Like, yeah, these guys were definitely not street level dealers. Like, there was no chance it's worth that. Maybe on the street, yes, you can look at it that way, but they were getting a paycheck for a quarter of that amount if they sold all this. So that's always a little bit deceptive. Now, when it comes to this, I think they probably also bump up those numbers a little bit, just like, what'd you call it before? White guy hyperboles?
White person hyperbole?
Yeah, white person hyperbole. So it sounds like a little bit of that. I'm going to say that number is just a little bit too large at 50 million, so I'm going to call Asinine.
Cam, this is a headline here for you, and the math kind of makes sense on all of this. This is a story out of California where a 30 and 27-year-old were each charged with 4 felony counts of possessions of a controlled substance. The substance in question is called carfentanil. Carfentanil.
Ooh, that stuff's bad, yeah.
Which is a synthetic opioid, which is 100 times more powerful than fentanyl and 10,000 times more powerful than morphine. Even a couple nanograms of carfentanil could be considered lethal. For relation, a fatal dose of fentanyl is 2 milligrams. And so, 2 to 3 nanograms of carfentanil would be deadly in its own. So anyways, this couple in California, when police raided their homes and found 46 pounds of carfentanil, which, as we know, can be absorbed. You don't have to ingest it. It can be absorbed through your fingertips, and you can kind of breathe in the air that's around it. And so I guess you kind of doing the math down, if 2 nanograms of carfentanil was, divided up from this 46 pounds, 50 million people could have died.
I guess if you look at it that way, carfentanil is definitely. I'm glad those guys are off the street because we don't need any more people dealing carfentanil or just fentanyl in general.
Yeah, I had never heard of.
Is that a bold statement?
Hot take coming out of Cam LeClaire. No more
It's like
fentanyl.
when Logan Paul said, he's like, we need to put an end to school shootings. You're like, great, man. Glad you said it.
Hot take out of Logan Paul there.
I'm tired of school shootings.
I'm tired of these school shootings. They're killing our youth. It's like, whoa, hot take.
I'm calling an end to this. All
hot
right,
take.
You call that. All right, Cameras. Yedline or Asinine. Teachers' bonus checks are bouncing in Florida.
Ooh, classic Florida story. Responsible for probably more headlines per capita than are on this show. If we have 6 headlines a week, at least one of them's got to be Florida related.
You'd hope so.
And teachers' bonus checks are bouncing, because, the entire Florida is one of those states where you hear that the rising cost on the local medical system is so big that, yeah, they probably, the state doesn't have money for things like teachers' bonus checks. And, teachers are already put through the ringer. They got to buy their own school supplies sometimes. And, by now, doesn't American school start in, like, August? They're almost, like, done. School in America. They're almost done, like, that first kind of chunk of it or whatever. Teachers' checks bouncing. This sounds, pretty easy. Pretty logical explanation. I'm going to say it's a headline.
It is a headline out of Tallahassee, where 50 different teachers in 20 different counties had checks bounce because of a banking error, not because of insufficient funds, although when they did try and cash them in, they did get the insufficient funds message. Turns out they got a $1,000 bonus check this week, and it doesn't really explain why, but apparently a few people did not get that check and were struggling to find the cash and were very concerned that the state of Florida had run out of money just like the U.S. government did.
That's it? That's it. Yeah. That's it. Cut and dry. Hey, it doesn't all have to be about drugs and
it's nothing that crazy. Just kind of
sometimes it's not all about getting things shoved in your penis or having your father be your gynecologist. They're not all crazy. Cam, I got a headline here for you. Headliner Asinine. Mother renames her son after a tattoo spelling error.
Jeez Louise. I wonder what's more expensive, is getting a fix of a tattoo, unless it's one that you can't fix, or to just change the legal document. Because if it was like a Zach and they put a K on it, but the name was ZAC, and they're like, can we just change this real quick so it's Zach? Like, do you think it costs a lot of money to change your name?
I don't know. Jess and I were talking about this the other day when it comes to like changing your name when you get married. How that works. My mother loved the woman. She's had 3 last names in her life. So she's had to go through that process twice. So who knows?
Okay, so it can't be that hard to do or that expensive, because people, you're right, people do it all the time. For that reason, I think they probably just added a letter where they shouldn't have, where they realize, okay, well, this is a lot simpler than trying to get this tattoo redone. He'll never notice it, and maybe we'll get a little bit of a press coverage, because everybody loves getting covered by the press. That's a headline.
Cam, this is a headline here for you. A story out of Sweden where where after a little spelling error, a woman has renamed her son. This is from Joanna Sandstrom, who was shocked when she looked at her fresh ink that she got, to name, the name of her newborn Kevin, because it was actually spelt Kelvin. Kelvin, with the extra L, and this woman didn't notice until she got home, and her husband said, "Does that say Kelvin?" She immediately returned to the shop to yell at the artist for the mistake, who apparently just laughed in her face. Offered her a full refund, but said there was no photos of the tattoo or anything that I could find online, but he said offered a full refund, but he's like, that's all I can really do. I guess things, not able to be covered up. Maybe the letters were too close together, what have you. So Joanna Sandstrom went through all the options of what it would be. Tattoo removal, tattoo cover-up, but the price and potential pain all seemed to be a little bit too much. So she thought to herself and her husband, hey, it might just be easier to change the son's name to Kelvin. And so that's what they did. And now they love their son's new name. They feel like Kelvin is unique, and they actually think they like it better than Kevin. She has a new daughter on the way. She's 8 months pregnant. She says she still plans to get a tattoo of their newborn daughter's name, but she will double check the spelling before the ink is put on.
Probably a good thing.
Probably a good thing.
I never told you this, but I won't say who, because they don't want people knowing they have a mistake for their tattoos. But I looked at someone's tattoo right after they got it and identified a mistake on it.
Oh, yeah?
And it never got corrected, and they were very upset about it.
Was it a spelling mistake, or?
No, it wasn't a spelling mistake. It was a mistake of just like, I won't get into the crazy details of it, but it was a mistake that was, if you saw it, like you had to look into it, be like, oh, that doesn't make sense. What's going on there? Like
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And kind of like if you've watched Ink Master, they'll be like, "What's up with that whack ass hand? Why does it only have 3 fingers?"
Right.
instead of 4?
Oliver Peck will come in and be like,
"That's just whack.
That's 2 left hands," or the toe looks weird.
Yeah, stuff like that, where there's like you can have mistakes that aren't just writing. Writing's obviously the worst one, but you can have a lot of mistakes on it. Do you have any mistakes in your tattoos that you've noticed?
No.
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 I want to share with me. What do you got?
No.
Nothing?
No. Well, I mean, obviously,
Anything
like
disappointing in your tattoos?
No. Like obviously, like I have an ornate dagger. And I've never seen a dagger that looks like that, but you still look at it and you're like, "Yep, that's a dagger." Or I have the leaves, right? The cardinals standing on leaves, and the leaves are extremely perfectly shaped. One could argue that in nature, leaves are not that consistently perfectly shaped. But in the example of my tattoo, they are. So if you consider that to be inaccurate, then maybe.
Oh, I was thinking more like, yeah, this guy blew up my line work on something or something like that.
No.
All right. It's okay. I think it's my turn for the headline.
I believe it is.
Is it?
Yep.
Yeah, all right. Shaquille O'Neal announces his retirement from being a celebrity.
Shaquille O'Neal, my favorite Irish actor.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Hey,
is that the Shaquille O'Neal?
Yeah, I gotta call.
I saw him down at the pub.
I gotta call bullshit on this one, just because you can't retire, or like it's one of those dumb headlines, Cam, that you pulled from BuzzFeed, because you can't actually retire from being famous, right? Like Paul McCartney could close his doors and we would never see him again until the day he dies. Doesn't mean he's not extremely famous. And Shaquille O'Neal would be no different, right? Shaquille O'Neal could lock his doors, never be on television again, close his Instagram accounts, close his Twitter accounts. It doesn't mean he's one of the best players of to ever play the game. Does not mean that he's just suddenly not the incredibly immeasurable force that he is. You can't just retire from being famous, Cam. So either you made this up or it's a bullshit BuzzFeed headline, and it has the makings of both. But I'm going to say it's asinine.
This is a headline, and it's mostly an article based on one quote that he gave to the New York Post.
Yeah, bullshit BuzzFeed, yeah.
It's kind of like how 40 different websites will come out with a report, which is just a quote from Joe Rogan on his podcast. And you're like, you made this into an article? It's just it's 3 words. Like him being like, I took ivermectin. Everyone's like, let's make a 2-page article where we can get some ads on there. Anyway, his quotes here, and we'll just read it because that is the full story. And I'll try and do my best Shaquille O'Neal accent.
Don't.
These celebrities, is that okay? These celebrities are going freaking. All right.
Don't.
These celebrities are going freaking crazy, and I don't want to be one. I denounce my celebrityness today. I'm done with it. I don't want to be in that category. Celebrities are crazy. They really are. Don't call me that anymore. These people are out of their freaking minds with how they treat people, what they do, what they say. That's never me. I don't want to be looked at that way. I came from nothing. But just because I made it doesn't mean I'm bigger than you, smarter than you. Well, he is bigger than you.
He is bigger than us.
Money, just because I have more money doesn't mean that I'm better than you. He's better at basketball.
He is better than us.
That way. And I would never want to be that way. So I don't want to be in that category of people. When they talk about Shaq, what do you say? He's a nice guy. But what else can he be to you? You're either really nice or you're an A-word. I definitely don't want to be looked at as an A-word. Weird that he said A-word instead of like
weird
ass.
That's where he pulled, like ass is not the thing I gotta say.
I want people to say, bro, he's nice. He didn't have an entourage. His people didn't take my phone because I took a picture and threw it. And that's the full story. And then it's just like fluff around it. Like, he did this in
the
his
whole
career.
thing is fluff. Quite frankly, I don't give a shit if Shaq is nice. What I care about, I want to watch him break a backboard again.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
care
like,
how nice. I don't care how nice he is. I don't care if he loves his sons. I want to watch him just that photo of him dunking on all 5 New Jersey Nets players in the NBA Finals. That's the shit I want to see. I don't give a fuck how nice you are. You can miss
that's
out.
What we signed up for.
You can miss out on 18 years of child support. I don't care. I want to watch you play basketball. Cam, I got one more. And thank you. That was an extended quote. So thank you for not doing the Shaq accent, a Shaq voice, because that would have gone on for way too long.
I don't think my Shaq voice is even that bad.
It probably is, Cam. I have one more here for you. Headliner Asinine, haunted house actor stabs 11-year-old while trying to scare him.
Yeah, things can really get out of hand when you have the power in your hands. Like, I don't know about your neighborhoods, but some guys used to have chainsaws in our neighborhoods when they were doing Halloween, and they'd sit in the back and ring, 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 and you're like, that's terrifying.
Yeah, there was a haunted house around us that did that. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's spooky because they can cut you up real
Chain
good.
off, obviously.
I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, maybe.
It's a good point. Maybe the chain's off. I don't know.
Yeah, and as for like the stabbing, yeah, I could see it just getting a little bit out of hand, and he had like a knife to like, shouldn't you have a not sharp knife? It's like, it's not that sharp. Next thing you know, someone pops out around a corner, and he's like, and then stabs him. He's like, oh, fuck. Yeah, we should have used the fake knife, but we used the real knives. And it's an old whodunit case, because then he ran away, and it ends up we have a serial killer on the loose. Headline.
Cam, this is a headline here for you. Spooky season is here. It's right around the corner. Grab something pumpkin spiced, pretend that liking Halloween is a personality, and spell season SZN, because now's the fucking time for you dumbasses, especially if you're living in Berea, Ohio, and you attend the 7 Floors of Hell. Which I didn't think it was 7 floors of hell. I thought it was like the 7 layers of hell, or like something else, whatever Dante's Inferno was. But the 7 Floors of Hell horror experience is an experience like many others that you'll find around, where actors are hired and they pop up to scare the patrons. And on this night, when an 11-year-old boy was walking through, a worker popped out holding a real Bowie knife. And he tried to scare the kid. The kid was a little too cool for school, and he yelled back to the actor, "That's fake. I'm not scared." So this is when the time where the actor started to drag the knife on the ground, making that real scary kind of noise. And that's when he accidentally made contact with the boy's Croc sandal, stabbing him in his big toe. After the kid cried out, security brought him out to the first aid area, and him and his mother actually finished the walk and later got a refund. The PR director for the event...
I would hope so.
Yeah, I would hope so. The PR director for the event said the actors are supposed to use rubber or foam weapons that they are provided with, and this actor was clearly in business for himself when he grabbed his own knife, and he was since let go. That's not it, though. The man was actually also criminally charged with negligent assault.
I didn't know that was a charge.
Yeah. Well, if you stab somebody, like if you kill somebody by accident, that's the quote from
an accident.
That's from Once Upon a Time, right? When Bruce Lee and Brad Pitt are there, and Bruce Lee's like, "My hands are weapons. If I kill you by accident, I'll go to jail." And then Brad Pitt responds by saying, "If anybody kills someone by accident, you go to jail. It's called manslaughter." Quote of the movie. One of my favorites. Quote of the movie for me.
See, that one, if you would have had that in the translation game, I would have gone, never heard it.
That's also a little too. There's a little. I wasn't saying
inside
it verbatim.
baseball, as they say.
Yeah. I'm not showing you how the sausage is made there. But yeah, I think if we're gonna play the Lost in Translation game, though, I think we need to be a little it needs to be a little more like one line of a quote.
Yeah.
Not, a back and forth.
Yeah, because it could just get so ugly.
Exactly. As soon as it's a conversation.
The ceiling
like,
computer fan twice over 3 times since Sunday, Tuesday, punk.
Yeah.
Like, that's all right.
Are you trying to say I'm afraid I can't do that, Dave? But that was it.
right.
That was our headliner Asinine, and that was our that's the end of the podcast, episode 89. Hey folks, thanks for listening. Rate, review, like, subscribe. The show is everywhere, and we can't wait for next week, episode 90. Cam, pick out your favorite athlete now, so you'll remember. Write it down, and as we inch towards that episode 100.
All right, and for folks at home getting ready for baseball season, never forget, the longest baseball game in history was 8 hours and 6 minutes. I'm Cam LeClaire, going and trying to beat that record.
Take care, folks.
Continuing
Tonight on Two C's in a Pod. 96.7 on your... Two C's in a pod, 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 two C's just like two C's in a pod, because we're two C's in a pod, just like two C's in a pod, two C's in a pod at gmail.com.